Ok, clase, para este video vamos a hablar sobre los verbos saber y conocer, aka the to know verbs. And I know what you're thinking. Both verbs mean the same thing. They do. Both the verbs saber and conocer mean the same thing. They both mean to know. So, when do we know? See what I did there? When do we know when to use each verb? Okay, so this is just kind of like ser and estar, whereas they both mean the same thing and you have to use them in specific instances. So let's look at saber first and how to conjugate it in the present tense, and then we'll go from there in regards to when to use it. Okay, so saber in its present tense conjugation would be sé, sabes, sabe, sabemos, saben. So notice all these it's an ER verb and it takes on regular ER endings. Just the yo form is a tad bit irregular. Okay, so sé, but then the rest are regular ER endings. Sabes, sabe, sabemos, saben. And if you don't remember, I know, you know, he or she knows, we know, they know. Okay? So cuando usamos saber, when do we use saber? So we use it to express the following. Número uno, to know a fact or piece of information or data. Número dos, to know how to do something, so how-to statements. Y número tres, to know something from memory. So let's start with número uno, to know a fact or to know data or a piece of information. Here is un ejemplo. Sabemos que Julian y Ryan son estudiantes. We know that Cullen and Ryan are students. That's a fact. They're students. It's a piece of information. It's data. So we use saber. ¿Sabes los días de la semana? Do you know the days of the week? Again, we're asking a question in regards to if you know a piece of information or a fact. So we use saber. Yo sé el número de teléfono de la oficina. I know the telephone number of the office. Again, it's a fact, data, or piece of information. So we use saber. The second instance we use saber is to know how to do something. In order to express this, you take the verb saber plus any verb, key right here, any verb in the infinitive to express how to do something. Look at what these ladies are saying. Ellos saben bailar muy bien. They know how to dance very well. They know how to dance good. Notice that conocer is never followed by an infinitive. So anytime you have a verb in the infinitive, again, a verb that has not been conjugated, you can never put conocer before it. You have to put saber. Yo sé esquiar. I know how to ski. ¿Sabes cocinar? Do you know how to cook? Los niños no saben nadar. The children don't know how to swim. Okay? Y finalmente, número tres, and I forgot to put the número up here. Saber is also used when we know something from memory, or in Spanish we say de memoria. Mi abuela sabe el himno nacional americano. My grandmother knows the American national anthem. Okay, again, it's something from memory that she knows about. Okay, the verbo conocer. So again, conocer also means to know. But now we know when to use saber in a sentence. So when do we use conocer? So first, let's check out the present tense endings it has, and then we'll see when to use it in a sentence. So its present tense conjugations are as followed. Conozco, conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocen. Notice again that the verbo conozco, or this conjugation of it, is irregular in the yo form, just like saber. But notice, again, all the rest take on the regular ER endings. Notice that this is irregular, though. Make a mental note of that. Again, I know, you know, he or she knows, we know, and they know. Okay? So, ¿cuándo usamos conocer? When do we use conocer? You really only use it in one instance, and it's when you know a person or to be acquainted or thoroughly familiar with a person or thing. So if you're talking about being familiar with a certain place or talking about how you know personally an individual, then you're going to use conocer. An example, yo conozco, and I'm so sorry, y'all, that's C-O-N-O-Z-C-O, that should be a C. Yo conozco mi madre. I know my mom. I know her personally. I just don't know about her. I know her personally. Tú conoces la ciudad de Baton Rouge. And again, that should have an accent mark. But tú conoces la ciudad de Baton Rouge. You know the city of Baton Rouge. You are acquainted with it, right? You just don't know about it. When you use this verb, you're telling people that you know the city. You're acquainted with it. You're personally familiar with it. Okay, so let's look at some contrasting sentences in order for you to see these together. Okay, let's look at this oración. Yo sé quién es Michael B. Jordan, pero no conozco al señor Michael personalmente. I know, whoops, and that should not be the name. I know who Michael B. Jordan is, but I don't know Mr. Michael B. Jordan personally. Sorry, I should have changed that name. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's 3 errors in this PowerPoint. Sorry, guys. I know who Michael B. Jordan is, so I know of him, right? Of, fact, information, but I don't know him personally. I don't know him personally. Let's look at another one. Sabemos dónde está Tegucigalpa, the capital of Honduras, pero no conocemos la ciudad. We know where Tegucigalpa is, but we aren't familiar with the city. We're not acquainted with it. So sabemos, we know of it. Conocemos, we don't know it personally. So here's some práctica. You don't have to do this if you feel like you have it, but go ahead and do some just for some práctica if you would like. So fill in the blank. How would you say, como se dice, I know Shropshire. You know where the market is. She knows how to play basketball. We know all of Reagan's family, personally. They know how to play the piano. So pause the video and do that, but here are the respuestas. Yo conozco a Shropshire. I know him. I know Demario Shropshire personally. I've taught him. This is my 2nd year teaching him. Now, I may not know every personal thing about his life, but I am familiar with him, acquainted with him. Tú sabes dónde está el mercado. You know where the market is. We use sabes because it's a fact or information. Ella sabe jugar baloncesto. She knows how to play basketball. We use saber instead of conocer because it's a how-to statement. Nosotros conocemos a toda la familia de Reagan. We know all of Reagan's family. Again, we use conocemos because we're personally acquainted with her family. We know her family. Ellos saben tocar el piano. They know how to play piano. Again, we use saber because it is a how-to statement. Okay, that is all para hoy, para este video, and that is el fin, the end. And if you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, this is him signing off saying yes. Adios.